Hi, I'm Judge Desire for Knowledge. Welcome to my show today. I felt like putting one of these old backgrounds up again because spring is going to be here soon. And right now it's snowy. Um, Basically, I'm recording this for tomorrow. So happy Valentine's Day when you see this. I hope you had a special one. I sure did. Thanks for joining my channel. Thank you for all of you who support me. And I have events tomorrow. So a whole weekend event of celebrating a lot of stuff. But we will be taping this. I'm taping this now to upload for you and schedule it. So happy Valentine's Day to those who celebrate it and those who have a significant other, or husband and wife, or girlfriend, boyfriend. Um, I hope you all enjoying it, staying safe out there. Loving each other and being good to one another is the best key. Being honest to one another and loving each other. It's a great thing. So, because I know I'm having a great day as well. And so, with that being said, I wanted to ask you as well to like, share, and subscribe. Let me get my water. Water is so good. To this channel so that others that may need, like, or want to share it themselves will see it. And I appreciate those that do. I really, really, truly appreciate all of you. So I wanted to get through this phrase that I hear when I'm at work, and usually around when we're going around the city or things like that. When you're out and about, like my travels, I'm out and about travels. That's another show I do. I haven't been on that yet, but I will be. Sometimes I have events I cannot tape. It's so much music. I just put one up last week. Sorry to change the subject. You could go watch that. It's a brief bowling alley in New York City where I was at. It had a lot of music, so I had to cut it up. They did chop it a little bit, so have fun watching that. But when you're out and about, there's some things that we don't notice about silly phrases. So I decided to make this show, Know Your Truth, Real Talk, based on the topic of silly phrases used in our daily lives. And so you would say to yourself, what could that be? Well, things that we use to communicate to each other. Sometimes it's positive and some not so positive. So that we are aware, these phrases are used by people who are usually they're inadequate on expressing on expressions, and some don't even realize their self-esteem has a lot to do with it, and they don't notice it at all because it's norm for them. Some people get so used to using these negative phrases when communicating with others that it becomes natural to their vocabulary. All right, so these are a few phrases I've used that has been used by many of us, that I have actually put together a few of them for you, that I have seen through my daily work experiences and whatever the case may be. Sometimes these words are offensive, but only to those that are aware that we have to be higher vibrating rather than lower vibrating. Because if you are talking negative all the time, that's not a good thing. So, just so that we are aware, I felt let Judge Design for Knowledge give you some knowledge on how we can actually lift our vocabulary words to be more positive and not so negative. So here's one of the phrases I've heard years ago. And I'm going to start it with this. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be where you are today. Now, I've heard that, and that has been said to me as well. But I say, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be where you are today. What? But I'm going to give you examples once I say the phrases. You wouldn't have the career you have if it wasn't for me. You wouldn't be promoted to that position if it wasn't for me. You wouldn't have your citizenship if it wasn't for me. You wouldn't survive without me if it wasn't for me. And you wouldn't be rich if it wasn't for me. So that's one of the phrases I put together because I've heard this before, and people tend to want to state that if it wasn't for them, a particular person or whatever the case may be if this resonates with you, um that you made it happen for them. Like, oh, how nice of you to think that way, but really? It's not such a nice thing to say to someone, first and foremost. So let's move on to another phrase, I'm sorry, that I also remember hearing as well, that is also I considered something that we should take notice of when people say stuff like this. You aren't going to amount to anything. You come from the hood and a poor family, you aren't going to amount to anything. You can't go to the college, you're not smart enough, you aren't going to amount to anything. I don't go on vacations, I rather work for the boss. You aren't going to amount to anything, that's for sure. Because if you rather work for a boss and not take your vacations, not me, buddy. And I don't care any of my bosses see me here. No way. um, and then there's it makes no sense to try, look where we come from. You aren't going to amount to anything. This all goes into how people feel about themselves once these negative phrases are put on them. Um, they say these responses. It makes no sense to try. Look where I came from, and then it goes on and on. Everything is impossible for us. You aren't going to amount to anything. So if anybody has told you you aren't going to amount to anything, and this is how you express yourself after you're not doing justice for yourself. Everything is not impossible for you. um, it does make sense to not always look at where you come from, but where you're going. And not going on vacations, and you'd rather work with the boss. I say you have no life unless you can't afford to go, which is understandable. But you know what? There's payment plans on stuff that I've seen people do, cruises and stuff like that, and that's pretty cool. So don't ever say no, or I can never, or any of these lingos people use in their daily lives. Next one is, the next phrase I'm going to use is, I'm happy if you're happy. And I've had people say that, and I don't think they're truthfully happy for you when they say something like that. I'm sitting here waiting for you to say, oh my God, I'm so happy for you. I don't want to hear, I'm happy if you happy. So maybe I take it differently from other people, but I've had someone say that to me before, and I'm like, what does that mean? But either way, this phrase, I'm happy if you're happy, ask the person what do they mean by that, because you don't want any challenges being around people that you don't know if they're for you or against you. So oh, I want to get some more light in here. I'm scared of this thing actually not working behind me. All right, so basically, like I was saying, I'm happy if you're happy is also another one, and I'm gonna do better in my life. I want more. So when you say that to someone and they go, I'm happy if you're happy, or I'm going to leave this job and work for myself, that's something that you should be congratulating someone for. I'm happy if you're happy. See, this phrase is really something else, because that means that the person's not giving as much to you as you should be getting, because normally people won't do that for you, but they want their 100% backup allocates, but not when it comes to you. No. So this phrase is really something that I would question anyone that says, I'm happy if you're happy, after you're stating some um after you're telling them things that I'm mentioning here. I'm going to retire early is not something, I'm happy if you're happy. But another one is, I'm going to start taking better care of my health. I'm happy if you're happy. That should be something. This is great. What diets, or what foods intake? Are you stopping meat? Are you going vegan? These are things that should be asked, not, I'm happy if you're happy. So this is why I can't believe that someone could be happy for you if you're going to come out and say, I'm happy if you're happy. What does that mean? So next time someone says, I'm happy if you're happy, ask them, what does that mean though? I thought you had my back, you know? And another one I thought of with that is, I'm going to speak up. I should have gotten that promotion. I'm happy if you're happy. No. Yeah, I don't believe that that's positive for anyone to be saying, I'm happy if you're happy. Just don't say anything at all. If you have nothing positive to say to someone, just say, I have nothing to say, or then let someone know that you're not on their side. How about that? Let's stop being fakes. I can't stand fake people. It really hurts me because I like to be real, and I'll tell you how you feel, and I really don't care if you like it or not. And that's being real. You either like it or you don't. There's one or the other. I'm not going to fake it for you to like it. I mean, if I think it's wrong, in my opinion. And if I think it's right, in my opinion. Everyone has their own opinions, and everyone should understand that and start respecting each other's opinions, because we're not always going to be right on the same subjects. That's why this show is called Know Your Truth, Real Talk. It's not all facts all the time, it's opinions coming together. So, unfortunately, I didn't get to go live on this one and I'm taping, but it's a coming together of truth, of every many truths, speak your truth kind of thing. So this is why I created that. And so when you hear that phrase, I'm happy if you're happy, be careful with those type of people, because you're not sure if they have it, if they're actually going to be on your side in the end. Don't call them a friend yet. They could be a frenemy, and I know many of them out there. Because, yeah, and if you don't have anybody jealous about you, you're not doing your job. Okay, so the next phrase I was talking about now is speaking up for what's right. I'm lucky to have a job. So, you know, some people don't understand speaking up for what's right. I'm lucky to have a job. That's how I meant to say it. So a lot of people, and I've seen it at my job, and I'll explain what I mean. I'm just happy whatever my boss wants, I do. Speaking up for what's right. I'm just lucky to have a job. You see what I'm saying? I'm just happy whatever my boss wants, I do. I'm lucky to have a job. That's the phrase. Why do you think you're lucky to have a job? We're all blessed to have a job, but that doesn't mean that you allow anyone to do what they want to you, and and step on your rights, and your, things like that, or walk on you, and you don't have any boundaries. Another The phrase is still up. I'm lucky to have a job, so I'm good, no need to start a petition, we may get in trouble. Okay, so sometimes it comes to a point where you have to start gathering people, groups of people together to fight for a cause. But you're going to say you're good, no need to start a petition, we could get in trouble, I need this job, I'm lucky to have a job. You see, that phrase right there is really truthful to a lot of people's statements, daily statements in their daily lives. I'm lucky to have a job. You know what? That person's lucky to have you. If you're a good worker and you're coming to work and you're busting your behind, or not busting your behind, but you're working smart and not hard, then that person's lucky to have you. Whenever are we going to say um, that to our employer? You're lucky you have me. I'm not lucky I have a job. You lucky you have me. I'm making it work for you. So yes, we're all blessed to have it. We already know that. We got it. But when are we going to start changing that method to be, hey, um, you should be grateful to have me here. We come rain, snow, or whatever, we have to be at work. So basically, they're lucky to have us. So don't say, I'm lucky to have a job. That phrase is really horrible, because we have a job doesn't mean that we have to be lucky. We're blessed, yes, but they're lucky and blessed to have us as well. So don't always look one sided on that. Oh, and another one is, I can't join the union. My boss will be mad. I will just do whatever management says. I'm lucky to have a job. Now, I actually, I'm sharing this because I've heard some coworkers say this, and I'm looking at them like, this is disgraceful. I may not have said it to you if you're watching my show, but if you know me and I've worked with you before and you said this, I looked at you funny, right? Because I'm never going to tell an employer that I'm lucky to have a job. I took my exams, I got my promotions, I did what I did because I earned it and I deserve it. And yes, I did get a job because I worked for it. They didn't give me anything. All they gave me was an opportunity, which is nice, but it's not everything. Okay, so start turning your mindset to a point where, yes, we have gratitude, but how far will you go with your gratitude? It's like you act like you begged for it. Now, if you didn't earn your position, you didn't take exams and stuff like that, and you got there basically on your looks or whatever other reasons some people get their jobs, now I can see you saying, I'm lucky to have a job. But those of us that have earned it, worked for it, experienced, and have the experience to bring to the table, then we are the reason why they're lucky we are in their job or in that career with working with them. But anyway, another one for that is I'm not siding with my coworkers. I side with management, and I've seen that too because I'm lucky to have a job. There we go with that job again, and I'm okay with following the crowd. I'm not trying to lead. I'm lucky to have a job, you know. So basically, if management puts together or sets apart, I should say, co-workers and their constituents, you will be on management's side because they gave you a job or you're lucky to have that job, or would you be on your colleagues side, co-workers who are unionized, to come up against one singular management, or maybe there's several, if they're doing wrong? I mean, who's going to sit there and work for people? I don't care if it's the court either. The courts know me. I'll stand up for myself. I don't care who it is. It could be the white collar work, blue collar work, whatever. I'm going to stand up. If something's wrong, I'm standing up for myself and for others too. But if they don't want to stand up, then that's on them. And I've seen that where they don't stand up because they're lucky to have a job. So the next time you hear someone say that phrase, change their mindset unless they actually got their job based on family, looks, or some other particular way, the old school way where people used to sleep for the job. Then they are lucky to have the job. But if not, then you tell them to reconsider that statement because they're lucky to have you. And I'll leave it at that. Another phrase that we need to look at is, at this level in my life, I don't have any expectations of moving up. I'm comfortable here. I've seen a lot of people on, you have so much opportunity to take civil service exams or promotions where I work in government or wherever you work, but yet you stay comfortable. And then you watch people surpassing you, making more money than you, and you're sitting there like, I don't know why they make you more money, because you have it. You have no expectations. So this phrase is really important. At this level in my life, I don't have any expectations of moving up. I'm comfortable here. Okay. I've heard that one too many. So I'm going to say exactly what my other five answers to that is, that I've heard people say to this phrase here. I enjoy being exactly where I am. I won't try to go extra because I'm comfortable here. And another one, I don't want to own a house or an apartment. It's easy maintenance not to. I'm comfortable here. So you can be comfortable wherever you are. You comfortable paying your rent to your landlord who owns your apartment monthly. You know, you can have a condo, just ownership is nice. A lot of people don't want it. That's okay. But when your mindset is that it's comfortable here, that you'll live like a dump, but you make enough money to live somewhere else, I mean, don't get too comfortable there, you know? You deserve more when you work that hard. Pat yourself on the back, get yourself out, if it's not really for you, and stop using the mentality that it's comfortable here for everything that comes your way, and you're making the money. I've seen people making the money, promotions and all of that, and they never move out of where they're living. And I won't make fun of that. I'm just saying, well, wouldn't you want someone that can afford to live there? You can afford to live somewhere else, but people don't care. So either way, that's on you. I'm going to build and move forward and upward. I'm not going to be comfortable anywhere because I like movement. And when I say movement, I like to grow. I'm not going to stay stagnant at the same place all the time, whether it's in employment, home, or whatever the case may be. My career, I'm moving forward. I am not staying stagnant for anyone. And I'm comfortable up here, moving up, because that's the only way that it's meant to be. You know, who's comfortable moving downhill? No one is. That's something that happens to people. But in the interim, you can make something better happen for you, instead of sitting there waiting. Wait. Okay, sorry. Instead of sitting there hoping on it. Another one is, I don't want to own. Okay, I said that one already, right? A house or an apartment because it's easy maintenance. I'm comfortable here. And there's some people it should be. I'm not saying everyone, but the majority always says that. And I'm like, well, why? You make enough money to do and live anywhere. Would you want to live right here? But No one's talking about it has to be luxury or anything. I'm just saying, get out of the hood, get out of the projects. If you in the projects and you making city, state, or federal money, I don't understand that. There's people that are in need of those places that actually don't have what you have. Think about that. Um, the next one with this phrase, I'm comfortable here, is I'm too old now to fight for anything. I'm comfortable here. We're never too old, you know. It's just comfortable to keep repeating that word, and I see that a lot. That people are very comfortable by saying they're too old, and I've heard 40-year-olds, 30-year-olds say that in my everywhere. 20-year-olds are saying it. I'm too old now to fight for anything. Okay, so what do you consider old? Because we still have breath. We're lucky we woke up today, and I'm happy and proud of myself getting up every day. Um, I'm never going to be too old for anything. But that's a mindset, as I was stating. And another one, I'm not going to retire yet because I love working for people. Wow, that's something else. I'm comfortable here. That's another I'm comfortable here phrase. Who wants to stay? And I've seen this, I'm not going to lie. I've seen, I think, up to 80 years old in my employment with the state that I've seen. Yeah, I've seen 80 years old at least not retiring. Some people you can't yet, but you've done your 30 years or you've done your age has passed. Why are you still here? This is because of this. I'm comfortable here. I understand. Uh, I'm not going to work for people for the rest of my life. I'm looking away to be able to retire early, leave, and do my own thing, working for myself and something easy, nothing that's going to be something that I always wanted to do, waking up every day and enjoying it. You know, not that I don't enjoy what I do here, but when you are doing your own thing, you enjoy it better than when working for people. So, how does that I'm not going to retire fit in? Because I love working for people. Oh, okay. I'm comfortable. All right. And another one is life is easier when you don't make the effort. Uh, I've heard that a lot because I'm comfortable here. And what's sad about that one is you don't make the effort, but you watch other people making efforts and then you want to be them, or there's jealousy and envy because they're at a higher position or a higher whatever than you are. Wherever they are, they're doing much better than you. There's competition is all over the world, but that's not what I mean by competing with other people. I mean, do for yourself what you will see other people, and you. I wish I could do this. I wish I could have that house. I wish I could have that car. I wish I could have those clothes. I would. You got to make the effort. They're not going to come and be received at your doorway, you know. But there's so many takers out here nowadays. They're too busy sitting around waiting for someone else to give it to them. That's not going to happen anymore because people are tired of doing that first and foremost. And if you get it, you get it. But make efforts. Life is easier when you don't make efforts, is redundant. I mean, it is something I hear all the time, and it's sad because people don't care anymore to, you know, do it for themselves. They always want somebody else doing it for them. It's like the saying, no one could believe a woman can own her a home on her own. Like everyone always thinks, oh, that she got from her marriage or they got from this. And no, that's not true. That everyone that's not true. Women can't. We make the effort. Just like men, they make the effort. They do what they can. But there's so many um, low self-loathing people out here, and especially I've heard from women where they don't believe that a woman could do it because they haven't done it. And that's the point I wanted to make. When someone else doesn't make the effort, they don't think that you have either. That's you. Not everybody is you. And God forbid if we were, because that's where you're on the losing team. So we need to recognize these phrases when we interact professionally and sociably, because it's really important. It's like people that curse, and I wanted to say this because I used to be one of them. You're really damning yourself daily when you do the curse word. Sometimes we're human, but if that's a part of your vocabulary, because I see it in the courts when you come in there and respect yourselves first. First of all, some people don't even dress accordingly. You don't have to dress in a suit, but please don't wear your hot pants and your pants falling off your behind. We don't like seeing that. And going back to the vocabulary part, the curse word is like something that's attached. That's all they have. Some people have only curse words and negative words to say all day. And if you curse like continuously, don't you notice that you're damning yourself? I mean, you might as well just give up. I mean, if you say the F word, who do you think you're doing it to? Yourself. Try not to say those words unless, God forbid, because it does happen. But uh, if it's repetitive, then there's something wrong and you need to check yourself, because you're not how can I say it? You're cursing yourself. Yeah, that's the word. You're cursing yourself. You're not cursing other people. You're actually using the curse word and you're cursing yourself. So try not to do that. So when I talk about these things, these negative patterns, they become acceptable to most without anyone acknowledging them. And now that I said curse words, yeah, that as well. Um, without people acknowledging how truly negative it really is. So the next time you or someone, you're talking with is applying negative language to your conversations, let them know to eliminate negative words from their everyday vocabulary and replace it with I can, I will, and I have. That's just a part of the basic um, vocabulary. We could start basic. Some people need that as a basic start to understand you other people. We have to start basic. I can, I will, and I have, which is positive. And with that being said, you are what you say you are. So when you're cursing yourself. When you're speaking down on yourself and all these phrases I was just talking about, that's also negative conversations. And some people like myself, we don't want to be a part of that. So I'm a good person. I'll tell someone, listen, don't call me to talk about gossip and stuff like that. I'm no longer that person that likes to hear stuff. I never really was, but even more now. Once you become attuned with yourself and you start loving yourself more and respecting yourself, then sometimes the people that you've been around no longer are going to be the people you are around with, because you're no longer that person. You've grown to become a person that's better, not than them, but different. You're not on their frequency anymore. And this is what I hear a lot, and I'm believing it. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So once we understand that, we'll get it. So like I said, self-care, self-love, self-introspection, look into yourself before we speak, because I've had a speech impediment. I'm up here on YouTube, so I'm not going to let that stop me. People can watch me or not. They're not going to like every video. They're not going to watch everything, and that's okay. The fact remains, though, I'm doing it. You're not. And two, and you can do it too. And two is the fact that we are able to get the word out, get the message. That's what it is, getting the message out, even if it's that one person, because I'm not here for the money. So with that being said, I want to thank you all for listening to this tape. I hope to be with you guys next week on I hope to be with you guys next week on um Know Your Truth Real Talk live, hopefully. Sorry, I started there. And if that, with that being said, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Here with the truth and nothing but the truth. Know Your Truth Real Talk with me, JudgeDesire for Knowledge, is adjourned. I will see you next time. Have a great weekend. Love and light. Have great Valentine's Day to you all.